Hi everyone, blessed be. I'm going to show you today how to make a witch bells charm. This is a home protection charm that you can hang in a window, on the back of a door, anywhere where the outside can come into your home. I prefer to stick these on doors, but this one particular one I have made to hang in the window of my bedroom. And first of all, I started off with a wreath base. This was one that's been recycled. That's why it's got a bit of hot glue on it. Because this used to be my Halloween wreath, I think it was. And I've got these small twigs that I got. These are actually some nibble sticks from the pet store. Some wood that, I think it's willow, that pets can chew on. But it's the ideal size for crafts, so I bought some. And what I'm going to do is use the sticks to make a pentagram, which I'm going to stick onto the wreath base. And it's just a case of fiddling about and just getting the pentagram to look how you want it. Sometimes you have to move things around just to get it to look a bit even, otherwise it looks a bit lopsided. And then once you're happy with where it is, just glue it very lightly in place on your wreath base, like so. And as you can see, I'm just having a bit of a manoeuvre around. I didn't get it on the first try. I did have to do it twice, but that's fine. It's not a problem. It's just a case of being patient and just keep persevering with it until you get the shape that you want. I decided in the end to make the pentagram separate so that it would actually stay in place, and so I could fiddle about with it and get it how I wanted before sticking it in place on the wreath base. So here I'm just playing around with where I want to position the sticks and getting it how I want. Then once I was happy with the positioning, I glued it into place. Sometimes you might have to look at it from different angles just to make sure it looks nice and even when it's hanging on the wall, because I'm doing this from top down so I can film. And then when I was tilting it up, I could see it was slightly off. So just make sure you have a good look at it face on so you can see if it's exactly where you want it to be. And see, as I'm just checking, I've noticed it's a bit off, so I'm just having a bit of a move about. And I did actually end up moving a couple of the sticks just to make it look a bit more even, because it looked a little bit lopsided. The advantage with hot glue is you can just like peel it off sticks and stuff like this and then reposition, so it's nice and easy that way. And just make sure that in the corners you've got plenty of glue, and make sure where it's attached to the wreath base there's plenty of glue, but not too much that it like drips out and oozes about everywhere. And then what I did then was flipped it over and I made sure that it was nice and secure and glued on the back as well. And then once you're happy with it, it's time to decorate and add the bells and other things. So I'm going to show you the first one, and basically this is how I attach everything, because I did attach quite a few things, so it was pointless just showing you every single one, because basically you do exactly the same as this. So start off with some cord. This was some cord I bought off Amazon. It's not waxed, but it's quite thick. It's like designed to make cords for necklaces, you know, necklace cords for jewellery. And it was quite cheap as well, but it's actually really strong. And what I did was just cut 3 lengths, the same length, however long you want your string to be. And then what I'm going to do is tie that around the wreath base, like so. So I've just wrapped it around, and then I'm going to tie it underneath. And you want to do a couple of good double knots just to make sure it's not going to come off. And I'm just making sure it's all tied, as you can see. nice and secure. And then from that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to plait the length of the cord once I've finished making sure it's secure. Just making sure it's tied in place and not going to move. I'm just using a knot that's used for making friendship bracelets there, just to make sure it's nice and secure. And then I'm just going to plait the length of this cord, and that little tail hanging down, I will make sure that goes into the plait. And I find this is easier if you've got the wreath base with a weight on it. So I had like a big jar of rose petals, and the jar's quite heavy, and I put that on top so that I could plait and keep the wreath in place. At this stage where I'm filming, I hadn't done that, but if you weigh down your wreath with something not too heavy that's going to break it, then it'll stay in place while you plait it. And then what I did was at the end of the string, I tied a little bell on, and then I'm going to show you what the witch bells look like now they're finished. So as you can see, I've added a lot more charms, exactly the same way. I've just added cords, plaited them, and tied charms and things onto the end. So I'm going to go through exactly what I've added. So obviously I've put the pentagram onto the wreath base, and from that I've hung different objects. I've got some brass bells, which I bought on Amazon, I believe it was. And as you can see, I've just tied those onto the end on various lengths of string. I have a protection jar and a jar with some rosemary in it. I also have a pentacle, which came in a little set of charms and things that I bought recently. I've got a little quartz crystal with a skull little charm thing, and one where I've put a bell on the end. The skulls were actually like a thing that attaches to your keys that I bought from a sort of gothy shop, and I've took the sections apart so I can turn them into other things. And that's what it looks like. Hope you enjoyed the video. Blessed be. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.